Hello everyone, my name is Ashley and welcome back to my channel, Worth the Read, where we talk about books that are worth your time reading. Today is a recommendation video. Books that I'm recommending for you to read for the upcoming summer vacation season. This is a set of books, so it's a trilogy. I recommend them because they're an excellent read. They're not long, so if you're not a person who can take a huge book on a vacation and get through the whole book, and you're more of a short story reader, these books are great for you. If you go on multiple vacations, you can take one, then take the other, and then take the other, or take all three on one vacation. So let's get right into this recommendation. The trilogy that I'm recommending for your summer vacation read is the Wayward Children's series by Seanan McGuire. Book number 1, Every Heart's a Doorway. Book number 2, Beneath the Sugar Sky. And book number 3, Down Among the Sticks of Bones. All three of these books are by Seanan McGuire. All three of these books are thin, less than 200 pages. So basically this is one book if you compare it to other books. And they're all so amazing. If you are not big into fantasy novels, but you want to get into them, I suggest this trilogy. If you are, if you like to read books that don't take long to get into immediate action and things like that, I suggest this trilogy. If you like a continuous story with foreshadowing and going back and forth with flashbacks and things like that, I suggest this series. So let's get into the first book. So I'm going to do a quick synopsis of each book. If you want to get into further review, I think I reviewed the first book and the second book in further detail. I haven't reviewed the third book in deep detail, but the first book is Every Heart's a Doorway. Now, this series, Seanan McGuire is a genius. I did not realize that other books that were made prior to her writing this book, she kind of pulled from until she mentions it in the book. Meaning, the books are about children who enter different worlds and realms by walking through a doorway. Then the doorway presents itself at a random time to random children, and most of the time the doorway is a better fit. The world in the doorway is a better fit for that child. So there's nonsense world, there's worlds that don't make sense, there's worlds that are like made of sugar, there's worlds that are for skeletons and promote death, there's worlds that are for people who like to stay still like statues. So there's all these different worlds. And for reference, if you've read Alice in Wonderland, that's a book about a girl who falls into a different world. If you read The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, that's a book about children who stumble into a different world. So what Seanan McGuire did was make a trilogy about children who happen to stumble into these worlds but come back to Earth, planet America. Well, not, I don't want to say America, but regular world Earth that we know it as. And they really can't cope with being back, and they want to go back to their world that they fell into. It's very interesting. It's not, I feel like I'm not explaining it to the best of my ability or how I want to explain it, but I don't want to spoil it for her because the book is so short that it's very easy to tell you major details, and I don't want to do that. But that's the concept. So the first book is about the school that this lady has created for children that want to go back to their worlds, and they're having a hard time trying to live on planet Earth, and their families don't understand them. They disappear for years and then come back to Earth at the age that they were when they disappeared. So a child can fall into the world and be there for 20 or 30 years and be an adult, and by the time they return back to Earth, and then they're back to a child. So the school is for children who are coping with not being in their world and are waiting for their doors to open again. And then there's a murder. And they're trying to figure out who's killing the students, because they're jeopardizing the well-being of their school, and if the school will be shut down because these children that these parents are entrusting the school with are dropping dead. That's the first book. What I like about the series, the second book, it gives you a prequel to the first book. So this series jumps back and forth. So you're at current book of the first book. The second book gives you the prequel information for the first book. And the third book gives you a storyline about the ramifications of what happened in the first book. Am I making any sense? I'm going to explain again. So the first book is current day. Stuff happens in the first book. There's a murder, right? The second book is about what leads up to what happened in the first book. The third book is about what the effects of what happened in the first book continuing. I think I explained it better the second time. So it's a great series. If you enjoy fantasy and a mystery and storyline, it kind of reminds me of a little bit of Star Wars. You know how Star Wars bounces back and forth? I'm not into Star Wars because I can't keep up. It's too many movies. This one precursors that one. That one is the foreshadowing for this one, and it's just too much. But in this book series, I can keep up. Very simple, 3 books. Now, I don't know if Shauna is going to continue the series. I think she shouldn't. I think it ended excellent the way it ended, and we don't need another one. But if she does, I will be one of the first people to purchase them and read them. I recommend this series for vacations because they're not long. So if you're on a vacation for a weekend, you can get through this book. If you're on a vacation for a week, you can get through all 3 of them. And they're very entertaining reads. I love the way her mind works with creating diverse characters. So 2 of the main characters, one of them is gay. They have a character where he's a male, but he's into clothing. He's not gay, but he's into clothing and seems in tailoring, I would guess you would say, for a male and things like that. So it's very diverse characters, and they're characters of every color. And in this world, race doesn't really play an issue in this world, because at the end of the day, they're all children that feel as though they don't belong to this world anyway. So it's never like, oh, you're white, you're black, you're Asian, you're Indian. We're all children who don't want to be here, and we're trying to survive. So I recommend this book. Hopefully this video isn't long. I'm trying to keep my videos a little shorter. They're way too long, 15, 16 minutes. 5-star read. I give this book 5 stars. It's most definitely worth the read, and enjoy it. And that's the Wayward Children series by Seanan McGuire. And that is it for my summer vacation recommendation. I might do another one because I like to take books on vacation, and I like to take books that I feel like I can finish in that time span of my vacation. So that's it. Comment below if you've read the books. If you haven't and you're interested in them, if you've read the books and you feel like we need another one, or you feel like we don't need a 4th book, let me know. Everybody have a great week. Many blessings. If you're in Philly, say what's up. And like, comment, subscribe. Bye, guys. From Worth the Read.